You like that cooking channel, huh, Grandma?
It's all food all day. That's all they do is they make food.
I want to eat the TV.
You're listening to the Dead Chaser Society podcast on the Chaser Chat Network. Hey everyone, I'm Shane Adams, and you're listening to the Dead Chaser Society podcast. One thing that I have noticed, and I have seen other people notice via social media, is the trend of chasers seeming to exaggerate the amazingness or awesomeness or epicness, if you will, of a storm or a tornado or any phenomenon, whatever they're out there chasing. And it started off innocent enough, I believe. I remember back in the day when we started having a controversy over what a wedge was versus a non-wedge. The definition is really simple. It's basically a tornado that's wider than it is tall. That's one sentence. That's pretty easy to grasp. But then you have instances of people being overexcited about their catch and being like, look at the wedge. And it's like, well, it's not really a wedge. It's more of a barrel. But who am I to split hairs? Congratulations, yada, yada. And there were many instances like that, but they started to become more frequent. And over time, they started to become more exaggerated and to the point where they're almost ridiculous. And today, that's a common theme on this show, chasing back then versus chasing today, because, the history of this activity is real and it exists. And so, fuck it, let's talk about it, right? But nowadays, you see a tornado. I mean, any tornado's cool because I love tornadoes, but you see it, just an average tornado, and I'm not trying to diminish it in any way because an average tornado is still awesome. I mean, the worst sex I ever had was wonderful. I'm not trying to diminish it in any way. I'm just saying it's an average tornado, an average shot, and that's good enough. But oh, no. They have to put a caption with like, unbelievable, all caps, just screaming at you. Amazing, epic, can't believe this, world class. And it's like, it's not. But I'm not one to sit there and like actually comment on these submissions and be like, dude, it's not that amazing. That's kind of a dick move. But the point is, there's so much exaggeration going on. Why? I know why. Do you know why? It's the same answer for everything that's a little screwy and chasing. When you look at something and you're like, why is that? Or what's this all about? The answer is always the same. It's because money. It's because notoriety. It's because I need followers, likes, subscribers, all that good stuff. Which is fine, whatever. But I mean, let's kind of try and keep it on the up and up, shall we? You don't need to try and trick me, try and dupe me into thinking that an average tornado is amazing just so I'll click on your video, or so I'll like your video, or so I'll comment on your video, or so I'll subscribe to your YouTube channel. If I like your content, I like your content for what it actually is. If you've got hundreds of videos of good tornadoes, I don't need them all to be Game 7 moment tornadoes. I'm happy with a nice slew of good tornado videos. I will sit and watch them. I will subscribe to your channel, not a problem. Maybe I'm the outlier, I don't know. But it's ridiculous to the point now where I kind of want to say stuff about it. I'm saying it right now. When you have a cone tornado that anyone who's seen enough of these can tell it's probably about 100 yards wide at the base, including the visible debris fan. Hell, including the visible debris outside of the debris fan. That's not a giant tornado. It's not a large tornado. And when it passes through power lines and you don't see sparks or arcs, it's not destructive. It's not violent. It's not even strong. So let's consider these things about your material before you paste all these ridiculous, over-exaggerated definitions about what you're seeing. I mean, it's kind of embarrassing. Now, some of you might be saying, Shane, quit gatekeeping. What do you care? Let people live and let live. And you know what? Maybe you're right. Maybe you can just let people live and let live. But here's the thing. I'm allergic to stupidity. I'm allergic to bullshit. And I have to say something about it. Hence this fucking podcast. So try not to post a picture of a tornado that's 300 yards wide and call it a wedge. Try not to post a picture of a storm that isn't even in my top 10 structure shots. And I don't really assign much value to structure. And then say, oh my God, this is the most epic structure ever. It's not. And everyone who looks at your picture, everyone who likes it, knows it's not, but we're being polite and we're just letting you have your moment. But you don't need to exaggerate that shit. If your work is good enough, if it's interesting enough, you know what? Let me backtrack, because I just kind of just made it. I made myself a hypocrite there. I don't mean good enough. If your work is satisfying enough to the viewer, they don't care to assign it, oh, it's tier 1, 3, 4, 5, whatever. They don't care. If they like it, they like it. If they don't, they don't. Or maybe not even they don't like it, they're just not interested. They don't have like a conscious disdain for it. They just don't care for it. They're not interested. They either like your stuff or they don't. But wouldn't you rather someone like you and be a fan of yours for what you are than for what you're not? You know, the embellishment, the over-exaggeration, this ridiculous, it's eye-opening. It's catching. It's cringeworthy.
No, you're doing it all wrong.
That's not a wedge. That structure isn't even, I wouldn't even put that a tier below amazing. It's average. And that's fine. That's what nature gave you. You got a good shot of it. There you go. You don't have to create artificial excitement about your work to try and drum up more interest. Chasing doesn't have to always be about getting that dollar, getting that click. And even if it is, make sure it's for real. Make sure it's for the real deal, for reality. I don't want to, I can't stand, and I used to be one, so I'm sort of a hypocrite here. I used to do, when I was trying to make it on YouTube, I was trying to be a YouTuber. I used to be one. I can't stand pages that are just you scroll, it's just like, you can't even tell what's going on in the video from the thumbnail because it's just giant bold text and, over-exaggerated themes and titles and just ridiculously superimposed images, shit to catch someone's eye so they'll click on the video. And by the way, that does not always work. Channels like that just drive me nuts because it's like, look, man, I came here because someone told me about you, and I looked you up because you're either a chaser or someone who is into something I'm interested in, and I'm at your page not by accident because I wanted to be here. I don't need the ridiculous thumbnails and the over-exaggerated horse shit. But then again, I have to stop myself because I realize you're not looking for people like me. You're looking for low-hanging fruit. I'm at the top of the fucking tree up there just fucking eating an apple, thinking about how they put the filling into a Nutri-Grain bar, just deep shit like that. I'm at the top of the tree. I'm not at the bottom where your audience is, so I get it. You have to dupe the low-hanging fruit into thinking what you have is more than what it actually is to get them to click. And you don't even care if they enjoy the video. You just need those minutes so your YouTube algorithms will pay you money or whatever the hell it is. So I guess at the end of this, I understand why, but it's kind of embarrassing. I think the perfect balance is to find a way to be a successful YouTuber without having to dupe your audience into believing that they're getting something that they're really not. Does anybody do that? Can anybody do that? I don't know. It would be interesting to find out, though. So guess what? Don't show me something that is something and tell me it's something else in the caption, because I know better, and so does everybody else. Guess what, everybody? It's an election year, and I fucking hate it. I understand that politics are a huge part of our society and this world, and I understand that they're very important to a lot of people. I totally understand why, and I understand that, but I could not be more fucking ready for this election cycle to be over with. And I know it's not going to cure what ails me, but just to stop seeing the mudslinging back and forth on my goddamn Twitter feed. I look forward so much to the day when that shit stops, because I don't fucking care. Because the reality is, not once in my 52 years has anything I've actually actively done, and I'm talking about voting, has it ever made a difference. No issue that I've had with any kind of political situation has ever been cured by me going out and casting a vote, ever. Local, all the way up to the President of the United States. So, long ago, I learned that it doesn't really fucking matter. And really, it doesn't matter. It didn't matter back when you just voted and the guy that won and the guy that lost and we all went home. But now, when the guy who loses thinks he won every year now, or every election now, I really don't give a shit. It's like, who fucking cares? I don't give a fuck. I don't care about sides. I don't care about parties. I don't care about any of it. You know what I care about? I care about not seeing political shit on my goddamn Twitter feed. I'm so fucking tired of it. And here's why. It's not that people are talking about a presidential election. It's that no one has any goddamn tolerance in this fucking world anymore. Everybody loves to ask the question, what does the world really need right now? What's the number one answer across the universe? It's love. It's always love. The world needs love. And it always does. That's always the right answer. But right now, at this point in our history, if you were to ask me, Shane, what does the world need most right now? My one word would be tolerance, man. Tolerance. And when I say that, I mean, you go back, and I never noticed it back then because we didn't have anything to compare it to. It was just the way it was. But political shit in this country has devolved so horribly in the last 8 years that when you go back and look at anything that's 12 years older, 12 years old or older, you look at debates and elections and, you know, just the cycle of an election year. It's like, oh my God. People are being civil. They're being respectful. They're actually attacking issues, not each other. What the fuck is this? What is this devilry? But then you look at today, and nobody's talking about what they're ever going to do to make things better. All they're doing is slinging mud at the other guy. And I know mudslinging's been a part of politics forever, but every one of you listening, you know exactly what I'm talking about. It's kindergarten shit now. It's embarrassing.
We're not like you. We're grown-ups, motherfucker.
And I'm sick of seeing it on my goddamn Twitter feed. I don't care. I don't fucking care who wins. I don't care who wins. I'm so sick of both people and all their fucking supporters. I don't give a fuck who wins. What I care about is getting the shit off my feed. And the reason I'm so assy about that is what I just said. Nobody has any fucking tolerance anymore. There was a day when a person chose the candidate that they felt was the best way forward for this country. And you cast your vote, and if you won, great. If you didn't, well, shit. Let's all get on board with this guy, and let's see what happens for the next 4 years. And that was it. Everybody went home. There weren't fights. There weren't fucking rallies. People didn't storm the fucking Capitol. You just fucking went home. You licked your wounds, you went home. It's like a fucking football game. Your team wins sometimes they lose. Either way, you just go home. Not anymore. Now, if this guy loses, oh, the election was stolen. If this person wins, oh, it's bullshit. No one can just accept shit for what it is. No one can accept the fact that you're not going to get what you want half the time. And when you don't, you need to be an adult about it. But no one can do that anymore. And it drives me fucking insane. Everybody, oh, you're not getting your information from the right place. You don't know what you're talking about. Everyone's an expert. And I don't care that there's politics all over my feed. I care about the way politics is now and the way people that support this candidate or that candidate are now. I mean, my God, sometimes I see shit that people share and it's been shared and reshared so many times, I have to look at the person who shared it to figure out, are they saying this about this person or are they talking about this person? Because it gets so mudded out, I can't even tell anymore. And the problem is nobody has any tolerance for anybody that's not just like them anymore.
Hey everyone, Kay here from Rough Skies Ahead and Chaser Chat. I wanted to give a quick shout out to the new Chaser Chat YouTube page, where you can find all your favorite episodes uploaded in video form with a transcription to follow along with. The link is in the podcast description.
You're probably wearing clothes right now, and I know you like listening to podcasts. Why not combine the two and support the show? Head over to chaserchat.com or click the link in the podcast description, and you'll find all sorts of items like t-shirts, hoodies, beanies, ball caps, coffee mugs, and more. And if none of that sounds good, at least buy a freaking sticker. It's only $3. Visit the merch store today and support the podcast by going to chaserchat.com or clicking the link in the podcast description.
Let me go back to what I just mentioned about 12 years and older. Candidates they would draw lines in the sand and people would vote for this guy or they'd vote for that guy. And you know what? They were civil about it. Whoever won, won. Whoever lost, lost. And we all go home. But now you have all these people that can't stand anything that they know exists that isn't like them. They have no tolerance for anything. I don't like that guy. He's gay. Does it affect your life? No. The only thing it affects about you, you dumb son of a bitch, is that you know about it now. All the shit in your stupid head that you can't stand about the world, LBGBD and him and her and pronouns, all the shit that you think is ruining the world didn't affect you one bit until you knew it existed. You don't have the ability to project a situation from someone else who's going through some shit onto yourself. Your whole attitude is your problems are your own fucking fault, and your successes are because somebody else stepped up and helped you. No matter what the situation is, it's always the person's fault to you. You can't stand anything that's not like you. You don't understand anything. You don't want to accept anything you can't understand, and you feel threatened by it. To you, a gay person is like a spider on the wall. It's not doing a damn thing to you, but you know it's there, so you take a shoe and you smash it. You stupid, dumb, mouth-breathing fuck. Do the world a favor. Don't fucking breed. You have no fucking tolerance for anything, and you're the problem with the country. But that's not the issue. I don't give a fuck. There's dumbasses like you. I'm talking to you. That person. You all know the person I'm talking about, and I don't mean a name. I mean a type. You all know the type person I'm talking about. I can't stand anything that mom and daddy didn't teach me that I didn't learn in Jesus class. So anyway, that's not the point. The point is, because people like that exist and they're mingling and fucking fusing themselves in all this political discussion now, that's why I can't stand seeing it on my feed. Because I can't stand seeing stupidity being retweeted and retweeted and retweeted. By the way, I'm never going to say reposted. I'm never going to call it X. You know why? Because twitter.com fucking works. What does the world need, Shane? The world needs tolerance. The world needs people to go, you know what? This is what I want. This is what I like. Also, I understand that the things that I don't like and the things that I don't want are wanted and liked by other people who feel just as strongly about their beliefs as I do mine. But people aren't capable of that anymore. They don't project, and they can't understand. They can't put themselves into the shoes of another person. That's as old as the fucking earth. Put yourself in someone, walk a mile in my shoes. No one knows anything about what that means anymore because they refuse to fucking do it. And because people have that attitude, and because they put themselves in political discussions that they don't understand, and because I see it on my goddamn feed, it pisses me off. So, to wrap it up, I cannot fucking wait for this election to be over, and I don't fucking care who wins. I care about it being fucking over. Anyway, back when I was in high school in the late 80s, unlike most of my friends and most kids in general back then, I was never really into weed that much. Because mainly back then, before all the science and all the technology that went into the ingestion of THC, we didn't have edibles, we didn't have vaping or any of the cool stuff you have now. It was basically just a small town in the 80s where you got whatever came through, whatever came down the pike. And that was usually in the form of a joint, or if you were lucky, somebody would score a quarter bag and you'd have enough to make do for a while if you wanted to. But either way, you were smoking it either in the form of a joint or a bong or whatever. And because of that, the pot that we would get our hands on would be very inconsistent, and that meant that the reactions I would have to it were very inconsistent, and I did not like the fact that I couldn't predict how it was going to make me feel. Much of the time, it made me very paranoid, so I just never embraced it. Now, fast forward to 2020, New Year's turning into 2021, my boss, who used to be a huge pothead in high school, had come up to me a couple of weeks before New Year's. We were going to his house to hang out and celebrate, and he's like, hey man, Ashley, that's his niece, she brought me some weed back on her last run. And he goes, man, I've been wanting to smoke weed again forever because it's, beer makes us fat, and it's expensive as shit, and weed's a nice way to just wind down. He goes, you and me are going to get baked on New Year's. I was like, okay, fine. So we did, and it was a great time. I hadn't smoked weed in years at that point, and man, I just got higher than a kite, and it was a lot of fun. And I had experienced enough of it enough times to realize that when I started feeling weird, I just had to tell myself, hey man, it's just the effect of the pot. Relax, you're going to be fine. And I was. And so after that night, for whatever reason, he just put it down and never touched it again for a long time. But at the same time, he was still having his niece bring him stuff back every time she would go make a trip. So over the next couple of years, he started accumulating this giant collection of just all kinds of great weed, just pure flower, just nuggets. And he would always invite me into the garage. Hey, man, you want to take a nugget home? Sure, of course. Free weed, no problem. So during 2021, I started becoming a normal pot smoker for the first time in my life at age 49. And I got really tolerant of it, and I got to the point where I could outsmoke him, who was a former professional stoner, and my ex-girlfriend, who is also a professional ex-stoner well into her 20s. I could outsmoke both of them, so I'm thinking, man, I'm a stoner now. I got this. This is awesome.
Don't you answer your phone? I've been calling for a half an hour. Oh, I'm sorry. I was putting up my Christmas tree.
Dude, it's July.
Get the fuck out of here. It is?
Yeah.
I would do what I called Stephen Hawking mode. I would just get on my back balcony in the dark, turn all the lights out, and just stare out into the darkness, get higher than shit, and just see into the universe. Really, really fun times. A great way to unwind and open up your mind. Well, Then I got introduced to edibles. And before I ever tried an edible, I had multiple people tell me, now, dude, these are not like smoking weed. These take a while to hit and they will creep up on you if you are not careful. I'm like, okay, fine. So the first night I tried one, I decided, okay, hour and a half. So I took one. It was a 10 milligram. I waited, and I waited, and I waited. And after an hour and a half, I'm like, this is nothing. I got to take another one. So I took another one, and about 5 minutes after I took the second one, the first one hit. And I looked at my ex-girlfriend, and I'm like, oh no. She's like, what's wrong? I'm like, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm just gonna turn on a comedy special in the bedroom. I'm gonna go ahead and get comfortable, get myself a snack, something to drink, and I'm gonna go ahead and lay down on the bed because I am about to take a ride. And she just laughing at me, and I did. I went on a ride. I couldn't sit still. I couldn't walk. I just kind of laid half on, half off the bed like a fish, just watching comedy specials and just kind of working through it. But the point is, edibles were a whole other world. I might be able to flower smoke someone under the table, but if you're doing edibles, I am a lightweight. And I did not know how much of a lightweight I was until I went to the 2024 Chasers Summit Hotel to hang out with my friends back in February.
Hey guys. Wonder Joints.
So at the time, I had a bottle of like 30 gummies I've been ordering from this local place here in Texas. And obviously, if it's local, it's in Texas. That makes a lot of sense. But anyway, so I have this bottle of 30, and I grab a handful and I throw them in a baggie, and I head to the hotel. I'm thinking, you know what? I'm going to share the wealth with my friends. I'm going to be that guy. I'm going to be the party guy. So I grab a healthy handful of these 10 milligram gummies, and I throw them in a bag, and I head up to the summit. Well, I get there, pop one before I go in, and I'm just running into all my friends that I never get to see. I'm not going to name names because there's just too many of them, but you all know who you are when you were there. And I decided to start being the guy. I'm like, hey, the Candyman's here, check it out. And they're like, what do you got? And I'm like, I got these little 10 milligrams. And then it was so funny because they didn't really do it, but it's kind of like the attitude was like they were like patting me on the head. Oh, he's trying so hard. These guys are freaking rock stars when it comes to THC ingestion. I mean, they're packing pre-rolls and vapes and gummies and all kinds of stuff. But unlike my little 10 milligrams, we're talking triple digit milligram THC loaded motherfucking treats. I'm just talking to one friend of mine, and she's like, I'm heading to bed. I'm going to pop me a 250 milligram and try to go off into the night. And I'm like, what? What did you just say? Did you just say 250 milligrams? And she's like, yeah. And I'm like, oh my God, that would fucking kill me. The most I've ever done in one evening, and this is over the course of several hours, is 40 milligrams, and I thought I was going to fucking die. But these guys are just eating 100, 150, 200, 250 milligram gummies, edibles, vapes, pre-rolls, whatever, and they're just functioning in the world like normal adults. I'm just sitting there. I mean, I get to hold some of that stuff. I lean into that stuff even a little bit, and I am fucking so high. I can't even sit and listen to someone talk. I'm so high. And they're just walking around. I wouldn't know they were fucked up if they didn't tell me they were. They're so functionable. And I'm like, God, you guys, I was so impressed. And I was so impressed. I was impressed to the point to where I wasn't even embarrassed or ashamed at how lightweight I was compared to all of them. Literally, I must have offered 10 people gummies, and they all turned me down. And they were like, "We appreciate the offer, but they're just not going to do anything for us because we are way up there on the milligrams." And so I left that summit so impressed with all my mellow chaser friends that just hang out. They're not tearing up their hotel rooms or getting the police called or being loud and crazy. They're just hanging out and talking and laughing and taking pictures and drinking beers and whatever. And they're fucking high as shit, and they're just functioning. And it blows my mind. So to all you guys, the pre-rolls and the gummies and the vapes and everything you could think of, any way to get that shit into your body, you guys are fucking THC rock stars, and I am so impressed. So just so you know, the chasing community, while we may be a lot of fucking nerds, there's a lot of these nerds that can fucking smoke, chew, vape, whatever you under the table, and not even look like they're fucked up at all. And that is so impressive to me. So to all my weed friends out there, you guys are rock stars. You have earned my respect, and I will never, ever try to hang with you all again. But anyway, that's all for me. I'm Shane Adams. This is Dead Chaser Society. Thank you for listening, and we'll catch you on the next one.
Arrivederci, bitches.
Thanks for listening. If you're not already subscribed, hit that button right now and then make sure notifications are turned on so you never miss an episode again. There are lots of ways to show your support for Chaser Chat. You can pick up something from the merch store, leave a rating and a review on your favorite podcast app, leave a comment and a like on YouTube, or just share the link to this episode on your preferred social media platform. Thanks again for listening, and I'll catch you on the next episode.